was really very pleasant here. 4-bedded ward, 2 others of them occupied, a large French window opening onto a pretty garden bordered by tall trees. The sky beyond, summer bright, clear, and full of promise. Jack, the old Jack, not the one lying here in this neat and tidy room, in this hospital-smoothed bed, had loved this time of year, his garden in full bloom, vegetables ready for the harvesting, and his beloved trees heavy with fruit. Already Marcie missed the old Jack so much. She'd never called him grandfather even as a child. He'd always complained it made him feel too old. And he'd never called her Marcie. She'd been Bird from the moment her father had brought her home to live with his parents. Jack's scrawny little bird. "Better here," he said. "Much better here." Marcie turned to look at him. "I thought you'd gone to sleep," she said. Jack smiled. "Sleep, my love, and miss all the bit of time I've got with you." He smiled again then, as though the effort was too much. His face went slack and he closed his eyes. "Much better here, you know. They let the sunshine in." Marcie patted his hand. "They let you out there yet?" she asked. "Or are they scared you'll come over all bossy and tell them what needs pruning?" With a great effort, Jack shook his head. "When it's not so windy, Birdie, my love. They say I can sit out when the weather gets a bit better." He turned his face away from her, gazing out at the tall trees, the mature limes and Lombardy poplars. "All flying away for winter?" he said softly. "What are, Jack?" He didn't seem to hear her. "Know the winter's coming, don't they? Funny how they all know, my bird. Flying away before it gets too cold." He paused, the soft smile at the corners of his mouth creasing his lined face. Then he closed his eyes again, drifting this time into deep sleep. Marcie watched the even rise and fall of Jack's chest beneath the light blankets. She stroked his hand. The skin, dry and lifeless as parchment, whitened by lack of sunlight and marked with purple blisters where the blood pooled beneath the surface. Then she lifted her head and looked once more at the blue sky and tall trees outside the window. When the wind dropped, Jack had said, then he could go outside. Marcie stared up at the stern poplars, stark, almost black against the brilliant blueness of the sky. When the wind dropped, Jack had said. Marcie watched, willing the trees to move. But the day was calm and still, not even the merest breath stirring the topmost branches. Chapter 2. When Marcie arrived back at her grandparents' house, Aunt Alice was standing on the doorstep, wearing her dark blue house dress, a duster in her hand. "I heard the car," she said, "so I came right down to let you in." Alice angled her cheek for Marcie's kiss, then took her arm and led her through to the kitchen. "Sit yourself down, and I'll pour you some tea. I've just made a fresh pot." Marcie watched as the older woman busied herself with the tea things. Alice, Grandad Jack's sister, a few years younger and very like him. Like Jack, her once dark brown eyes had seemed to fade with time, becoming hazel with slight greenish lights as she had grown older. Her grey hair was still as thick, though, and she still wore it long, coiled on the back of her head and secured with a single pin. Marcie had watched her braid, coil, and dress it hundreds of times, and was still uncertain about how she managed to hold so much hair with just the one. It took Marcie all her time to coax her own hair into a tidy ponytail. "Where's Gran?" she asked as Alice placed the china cups on the table. "Gone to see your Grandad. Your dad's taken her over there. You must have passed them and not known it." "Ah," Marcie nodded. She picked up her cup and sipped the hot tea. It seemed funny to be using these flimsy china things again. They'd been part of childhood, things Marcie had so consciously left behind. At home with Michael...